Good afternoon, everyone. I'm out here today with Greg and Nancy Norlin and their daughter Katie. They are the founders of the Ryan Norlin Giant Pumpkin Way Off. Greg, do you want to start off and just give our viewers a little background on this great event?
Sure, Blair. Myself, I'm really excited to be here. We're on our 34th year weighing pumpkins in Anamosa, Iowa. We started in 1989. We weighed at that time, we had a weigh off in the spare parking lot of the Walmart store east of town. The largest pumpkin that year was brought by Bob Ruff from Gurneville, Iowa. It weighed 252 pounds at that time. And again, 252 pounds doesn't seem big today, but back then it was gargantuan. We were excited, and we continued to have weigh offs every year since that time. But the first year, our son Ryan was growing a pumpkin for this weigh off. He liked to grow pumpkins, and unfortunately, that summer Ryan died in a tragic boating accident. So, uh, feeling we wanted to do something in Ryan's honor, we named the pumpkin weigh off after him, and we called it the Ryan Norlin Giant Pumpkin Weigh Off, which it is currently today. Been great. It's grown. The second year, 1990, the city decided to have a pumpkin fest in conjunction with the weigh off, and they blocked off Main Street. It was great. 2 years later, they called us and said, "Look, we'd like to meet with you, and we'd like to merge with the pumpkin weigh off and have it become one pumpkin weigh off and Anamosa Pumpkin Fest," which we did. It's worked out well. The chamber has kind of led the way. Wonderful volunteers, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happened from the first year, 1989, and where we are today. Katie, do you want to add anything at this time?
Um, well, there's a lot of good things to talk about. One of the things this year, we've always had a button, and that would be your entry into the Way Off. And this year, we are celebrating Anamosa being designated as the pumpkin capital of Iowa. It was 30 years ago in 1993. The Iowa legislature gave us that honor. So we're celebrating that this year. And we've got just a lot going on. It's really exciting from where it's started to now.
Correct. And it's we moved to the Lawrence Community Center in 1990, right after the Lawrence Center opened up, and we've been there from 1990 to the present. It's a great facility for this because everything is indoors. We don't have to worry about.
Which the growers like that.
Which the growers really like that because some of the weigh off sites are obviously outside if it's raining or snowing.
Most of them are.
Most of them are. Yeah, it's not fun. The other thing we've done is we have a float in the parade, believe it or not, and we put the top three pumpkins on that float, and the growers from all over the Midwest look forward to getting onto that parade, and we put the top three pumpkins, so they talk about that. Yes, they come down here for the money, but they also come down here to get on that float. So it's
they really like it.
They really like it, and they really like the fact that we have a pumpkin fest with the pumpkins. Just a few highlights. I talked about Bob Ruff. Back in those days, there were 18 weigh-off sites in North America.
In 1989.
In 1989, yeah. Since that time, this pumpkin competition has gone international. There are weigh-off sites all over the world. Australia, a lot of the European countries. So it's gotten big. The competition is huge. We've had world records set at this time, and it's always our goal to weigh the largest pumpkins in the world.
Yeah.
I know this year that we're going to have some pumpkins over 2,000 pounds. Pretty exciting, especially when our first pumpkin weighed 252 pounds. And believe it or not, there was always a discussion who's going to have the first pumpkin to weigh 1,000 pounds. And many of these growers said, well, that will never happen because the weight of that pumpkin will implode on itself and smash. It won't be able to carry that kind of weight. Well, guess what? We're pushing 2,700 to 3,000 pound pumpkins today. It's really exciting.
Do you know what the world record is?
The world record is just under 3,000 pounds right now. And believe it or not, the word is that and that was said in I think in Italy or Spain, one of those towns. So it's time for America to step it up a little bit and let's set a new world's record. Maybe here in Anamosa, we don't know. We usually know of one or two growers that are coming to our way off. Most of the growers are pretty tight-lipped. They just like to keep it to themselves where they're going to go.
One of our strategies, we have people that come from all over the Midwest. We've had Colorado, Minnesota, Wisconsin,
Missouri.
Illinois, Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we really try to get them to come here, to get the biggest ones to come here to Anamosa. We really try and keep our prize money up there. Like we want to pay out the most out of all of the weigh-offs so they come to Anamosa, Iowa to weigh their biggest pumpkins.
And we're very competitive financially.
Yes.
We're one of the top sites.
So
There's one other site that's right there, but
we're guaranteed to get these
Yes.
growers' largest pumpkins.
and we have a pumpkin fest with our way off,
We
which
do. A lot of
other
them
growers
don't.
don't have. So that's a big thing. I might add, in addition to what money that we pay out, we also, in 1996, J&P Cycles, John and Jill Parham stepped forward and said, we'd like to establish a Jones County Growers Award program. And they ponied up today it's $750, and they divide that money up to the winners of the largest pumpkins grown in Jones County. 1997, a year later, Fidelity Bank, at that time it was Security Bank, came to us and said, we want to have a special award also and call it the Pride of Iowa Award. That award, they currently pay $750 additional to what we pay off to the grower of the largest pumpkin in Iowa. So it's a big thing financially.
We started in '89 at what, $950,
Yeah.
and now we're close to $20,000 that we pay out to not just the giant pumpkin winners, but we pay it out to giant watermelons, long gourds, even field pumpkins where anybody can enter. If you've got a pumpkin growing in the backyard, bring it in. You could potentially win money for that.
Absolutely.
As long as it has a green stem.
Yeah.
It has
We
to
just
have
we don't want people to be intimidated if they're newbies in this competition because they don't think they can grow a 2,000-pound pumpkins. Very few people can, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, and a lot of the growers are more than happy to help some of the new growers.
Yeah.
They love to talk about their trade.
You know, it's like a fraternity, and they're more than happy to help. One thing I might mention, one of our categories is long gourds. They're gourds that grow from a high height, and they get up to 115 to 125 inches, maybe bigger. That competition started in Anamosa, and it started by Dick Stivers. And it was so successful, we made application to the Great Pumpkin Commonwealth, the organization that we belong to include long gourds in the competition along with pumpkins and watermelons and squash. And they took it under advisement and they approved it. So now long gourds are one of the main vegetables in all of the competitions, and that originated in Anamosa. So we're kind of proud of that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a distinction.
This year, fortunately, the weather's going to be good, but like I said, being at the Lawrence Community Center, we may have to put up with some inclement weather outside when we're first bringing the pumpkins in. But everybody, including the people that come down there to see the pumpkins, love the fact that they're inside where it's warm and dry. So, just a lot going on. It's exciting.